Hey, hi. I figured it would be a lot quicker just to get on this live stream and to share with you today. Happy Saturday to anyone who is going to show up. This is one of those spontaneous, splenic, intuitive uh, uh, prompts that I get. And it actually precedes a video that I made a couple weeks ago, or a couple days ago, that is not scheduled to come out until next week. So that one will probably be a little bit anticlimactic. It's about just asking you about your foundation. But today I wanted to get on and share some thoughts. I've been communing with uh, my higher self, my guide team, uh, myself, I guess, my divine head and ajna. I don't know, and I've been thinking a lot or questioning a lot about self confidence and the components of self confidence and what that's about. And the other day, I had this huge download. And those of you who have a defined head and ajna, you know how that goes. It just all comes in at once. And I've been teasing it out ever since. And I've got some things I really want to share because over on the community tab, I did put a survey up there for our next meet and greet. And I offered two potential topics, and one of them was confidence and human design. And the other one was decision-making authority. And I think right now they're about at 50-50. So I want to just share this with you and see if there's any interest in exploring this, either through the meet and greet or through some ongoing, a workshop or something like that. This whole questioning around and pondering around self-confidence has come from just working with a lot of clients who seem to have that struggle. And I struggle with it as well. There's several of you here. If you struggle with it, go ahead and chat in the box, because it is one of those things that that gets us every time. And what kind of triggered this whole pondering was a few months ago. I work with a business coach. His name is George Cow. He's awesome. I'll put his link down there. I was sitting in one of his mastermind meetings, and he just offhandedly mentioned his thoughts about how he feels that money, and a lot of people who have confidence issues, and a lot of people who are just getting onto their human design path, and a lot of people in general struggle with money. People in business struggle with money, entrepreneurs struggle with money. That money does not necessarily follow how much you know, how accomplished you are at a skill or a topic, or you know who even who to a certain extent. And I'm paraphrasing what he said. He said, he has come to believe that money follows confidence. So I was pondering that, and because it really resonated with me. Money and a lot of things follow confidence. And in my own business and in my own life, I've really, since that light bulb came on, I've really been working with my own sense of self-confidence. And I don't remember the next thing that triggered the download of this, and I'm just going to read it to you. But I all of the sudden I saw how the human design body graph can show us the path and the essential components for self-confidence. And of course, that starts with understanding who you are, understanding why you're here, understanding your design, working with your strategy, and that builds the confidence of to be yourself, right? Um, and understanding how you're designed to make decisions, your decision-making authority. But I also all at once got this huge download about the three major energy centers that have uh, particular relevance in terms of showing us in the big picture human condition, not, you know, how do your, maybe also maybe how do your individual mechanics work around these centers, but in the big picture human condition, what it takes to come from a place of self-confidence and to live confidently in your life as yourself. So let me just go ahead and read you this. If you find it interesting, chat in. I'm just putting this out here to see if there's any interest in moving forward. So, okay, so confidence. Uh, it consists of three things: courage, the will to persist, and how you see yourself. So it's the courage, and I'm going to start with actually how you see yourself, because to me that is the G center. How you see yourself, how you treat yourself, and how you love yourself is foundational to self-confidence. And that can be seen and understood through understanding what the G center in the human design body graph can tell us about that. And then there is the courage to take action when the time is right. The courage to take action when the time is right. Of course, that is tied into your strategy and your authority and all of that, and understanding the timing and how to be clear about the timing of taking actions. And then there's this courage piece that can be understood through the spleen center and all of the gates of the spleen, and perhaps even the emotional solar plexus as well. I haven't gotten that far yet, but I was just seeing that, you know, we have as humans these potentials to deal with fear in certain ways, and courage is about um, feeling that fear and doing it anyway and taking those actions when the time is right. And there are actually ways of filtering emotional fears as well. That's why I've added the solar plexus. It just didn't come to me in this download. Um, so that those are the three components of confidence that I saw all at once. How you see yourself, treat yourself, and love yourself. And I didn't say the third one, did I? The courage to take action when the time is right, in spite of fears, and to know that you are successful, or to know that you are safe. And I'm just going to read this in a minute. And then the will to persist, which is understood through the will center. And what the will center can show us about, the will and the heart center can show us um, about what it takes to have the will to persist. And we typically, when I'm looking at a human design chart, I'm looking at a defined will center as someone who has that will, consistent will to persist. But we all can have that will to persist if the conditions are right. And when you look at the gates on the will center, you can see what it takes to have the will to persist. It takes community. It takes the ability to have resources, to share resources. It takes integrity. It takes the integrity of being involved with and being involved with the kinds of influences that are that hold water, that hold weight, that are strong. And I'm just going off of this off the top of my head. And it also takes a connection to a power that is greater than yourself. And that's all seen in the gates of the will center. So how you see yourself, how you treat yourself, how you love yourself, the courage to take action in spite of, when the time is right, in the face of fear, because you know you're safe, and the will to persist with those actions. The G center, the spleen center, and probably the emotional center, and the will center. So here's what I wrote down when I got this, started teasing this out, and there's more coming. If you have questions about it, please leave them in the comments or in the chat. So the Human Design Blueprint is a teacher for confidence, how humans, and I'm trying to read my own writing, how humans are created to experience confidence, what it takes to have confidence. Confidence affects your money, your career, the way that you have relationships, and how you take care of yourself. Low self-confidence is the undermining factor that keeps people within the limitations of the lower frequency potentials of your design. Even though you may live from a place where you operate from a sense of higher consciousness, you may still struggle with those aspects of yourself that were not reinforced in your foundation. And that's when I opened the video, I mentioned that I have a video coming on your foundation that's going to be anticlimactic, but it's coming next week. So even though you live from a place of where you operate from a state of higher consciousness, you may still struggle with those aspects of yourself that were not reinforced in your foundation when you were growing up. A weak and shaky foundation a weak and shaky foundation. Okay. A weak and shaky, sorry for my writing here, a weak and shaky foundation that is weak and shaky because the conditioning forces have kept you from experiencing yourself in the best possible and most fulfilling way is what is now manifesting as a lack of confidence. So, the way that we were conditioned to abdicate our power, to deny who we are, to make ourselves try to fit into other people's boxes, to believe through the amplification of energy in our undefined centers that we had the energy to operate in certain ways consistently that we don't. Are all of those, and then and what happens, you find out after that person leaves or that transit goes that the thing that you started or the thing that you're doing, you don't have the energy for, and that plays on your self-confidence. Okay, so a weak and shaky foundation that is weak and shaky because the conditioning forces have kept you from experiencing yourself in the best possible and most fulfilling way is what is now manifesting as lack of confidence. So I mentioned that money follows confidence. So does fulfillment. So does outer success. And so is the willingness to go about feeling successful in your own unique way, or being successful in your own unique way. Self-confidence is a combination of the way that you see and love yourself, having the courage to take action when the time is right, from an inherent understanding that you are safe, and the will to persevere because you know that you and your endeavors are worthy and valuable. So I have here tied into what the G center, this is all tied into what the G center, the spleen center, and the will center in the human design body graph have to show us about the human condition and what it takes for each of us to bring forth and live in self-confidence. So I'm just sharing that because it's fresh off the press. And for me, it's kind of a revelation in how, because when I see that, and when I saw, that it is intrinsically, we can understand how have more self-confidence, um, or what it takes to have self-confidence, and what we can give ourselves, even beyond the strategy and authority which aligns us with being able to see ourselves and treat ourselves better and love ourselves, and to be in the communities where we have the energy that is necessary to persevere, and to know through our authority what the actions to take at the right time. You know, when I saw that it was related to these three centers, the spleen, the G, and the will center, then, that opened the door for me, to uh, to look at those three centers in a way that can show us the process for greater self-confidence, the process for um, what it is we have within us as humans, not necessarily what you have defined within you or what you have undefined, or anything like that, but what is it that we have within our genetic structure as human beings, what makes us humans, that can show the way to creating this self-confidence from within. So let me know if this is something that if you struggle with self-confidence, if you are intrigued or interested in exploring this a little bit more through these centers, and anything else that you would like to share about your journey and insights around your self-confidence, and what maybe you've seen with other people, and how that may relate to the human design journey, and just to the overall journey of being a human. So I just wanted to come on and share that. Thank you guys for showing up. And there will be more to come. I just had this splenic hit that I needed to do this today, and now at this point when I was writing out my notes. So I appreciate that you are here with me. Let's just take a couple of deep breaths together. I like to do that. And allow our connection to kind of strengthen and fortify us as we move through on our Saturday. I guess it's still morning, maybe it's early afternoon. And I'm wishing you the buoyancy and confidence and ability to live within the truth of yourself throughout this weekend and beyond. So that is it for today. Thank you, thank you, thank you for showing up and being willing to participate. Bye.